True operational excellence is a mindset that every opportunity you have to make an improvement, you make an improvement. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be 100%, it's just got to be an incremental improvement. We tend to get bogged down in the idea of perfection. You know, what does the perfect company look like? Well, it doesn't matter what the perfect company looks like, because if we try and achieve that, we're just going to get frustrated that we didn't become the perfect company. So how do we become a better company? Growth to me means you're improving the way you operate, you're maximizing profitability, you're optimizing speed, you're improving performance, all of those things. More often than not, I'm of the belief that how you measure success is going to define how people behave. So if you tell people that we're going to measure pure saving dollars, then that's how they're going to behave. If you tell them that we're going to measure you on customer satisfaction, then that's how they're going to behave. If you measure them on, we're going to measure you on the long-term return on investment, then they're going to do things that align with that. So I think the question becomes, and there's no right answer, but these are the questions you have to ask. How will we measure success? If you were to say to me 6 months from now, this is what success looks like, what would that picture look like? Draw me a picture of what success would look like 6 months from now. Accountability comes down to one person. And that's a big difference in my view between responsibility and accountability. When we think of speed, it's like, okay, I got to go faster. And sometimes you've actually got to slow down to improve your results. And I think that's the difference in the mindset change I think you're having. And especially with you know, gung-ho companies that are just getting out of the gate, or even with large companies. I mean, we've seen it with large companies, they move too fast, right? Let's go back to Toyota, I guess 3 or 4 years ago, where I guess they decided at the senior levels that they were going to become the largest car company in the world. We had known them as the best quality car company in the world, but their strategy changed. And they said, we want to now become the largest in terms of volume. So what happened? Well, I guess between 2009 and 2012, they had 3 of the biggest recalls in the history of the automobile industry, right? And another one today, because they started focusing on the speed of getting stuff to market, and they forgot about, and I know you've talked about it, Ken, a couple of times, the quality part. So their speed to market was going like this, but their quality catch-up was like this. So at some point, they had a huge gap between, well, we've got this huge amount of volume, but the quality of the cars aren't any good anymore. That's right. So I mean, you think about what that's done to a company that I would say before 2009 was iconic in the sense of, first of all, operational excellence. I mean, you know, there have been hundreds of books written about the Toyota production system and the 16 principles of this and the 12 principles of that and waste elimination and standardization. I mean, all the stuff that we talk about, a lot of it came from that. And now look where they are, because they chased growth too quickly. So it isn't just small, early stage young companies, it's big companies that can do that as well, right? I don't want to say it's easy to develop a good strategy. That simplifies it too much. But I think it's easier to develop a new strategy than it is to execute effectively on that strategy. So let me make that statement, although I don't think it's that hard to develop a new strategy. But I think that really where the rubber meets the road is when you're aligning that strategy with tactics. So, you know, we've talked about the importance of a clear vision. Obviously, you've got to be very clear on what your strategy is, and not only be clear on it, but be able to effectively communicate how clear, you know, the clarity of that strategy, where we're looking to go. But the tactics part is, how do we align what we're doing on a daily basis for somebody who's not involved in the development of the strategy at all with that strategy? So how do we make sure that if this is the vision and the strategy that we have, that everybody who's doing stuff on a daily basis is doing stuff that aligns with that strategy? And that's really the tactical piece. Instead of thinking about sort of the standard business concept, it's more thinking about, how do I leverage that standard business concept to increase my revenues, maximize my profitability, improve my performance? That's really the lens that I'm talking about here, is taking these things that we all know about we have to do to run successful businesses, but taking it a step further and thinking about it in a bit of a different context to not just how do I acquire new customers, but how do I bring those customers on more quickly, and how do I do a better job of retaining those customers?
Really thought-provoking in some of the ways of thinking about how to improve our operations. Some of the things that I'll be taking away is actually looking at how we're managing innovation and seeing if we can apply a formal process to it rather than the informal methods we've been using tonight.
Today's workshop was excellent. My team and I joined today after some very busy months of our project work. It gave us an opportunity to step back, to listen to all of the great things Andrew had to share with us, to network with other people that are in different industries doing similar things to what we're doing.
The one thing I'll take away from this is it pertains to hiring. So we need to pay more attention to our hiring process and being a bit more broad-minded about who we hire and the fit of the individuals we're looking for if we're looking to push an organization in a certain way. We need to also let people do what they do best and give them the freedom to fail, potentially, in doing so, but learn from those failures.